RFK Jr. was out, and he was speaking about the difference between Trump and the Democrats, and how the Democrats have worked very hard to suppress him, to get him off the ballot, to cheat, to eliminate and cancel their primaries. Trump never did any of that. And the Democrats, their battle continues. Right now, they're trying to release in the J6 case a giant 180-page dossier to smear Trump before the election. And the list goes on. But here's RFK.
They're telling people,
boost this volume a bit.
Donald Trump is going to end democracy. But Donald Trump actually won an election. He won the primaries 3 times, and he ran fair and square. And all of my polling from day one was showing that about 57% of the people who were supporting me, if I left the race, they would support Trump. Oh, I was bad for Trump from the outset, but Trump did nothing to try to get me out of the race.
Yeah.
The Democrats spent tens of millions of dollars not only defaming me and making me look like a crazy person, but then they ended the primaries. They would not let me run against them. They literally canceled the primaries. So they felt that they had to destroy democracy in order to save it from Donald Trump. And it's no longer there was an interest in, and I couldn't get on the media. When Ross Perot ran in 1992, he had 34 interviews on ABC, NBC, CBS, and CNN. And if you remember back then, he seemed to be almost every week on Larry King. So they were interviewing him. I got in, and he was only running for 10 months. I was running for 18 months. And during that period, I had 2 live interviews on all the networks except for Fox.
Yeah.
So and then about, I don't know, in I think it was August or September, early September, President Putin ran his election in Russia, and President Biden and Vice President Harris were deriding him because he won 88% of the vote. And they said, well, that's because he got rid of all of his opponents and he controls the media. And I was like, is this extraordinary incapacity at any kind of self-analysis or self-examination?
Yeah, I think they do. I think that they know exactly what they're doing. It's not like they're dumb. They just make Putin a big, scary boogie monster, and then they do exactly what Putin does, and they say that they're not like Putin. And they're just shameless about it. And I don't think that they're dumb. I think that they can recognize they have some self-reflection there, I think. And there is probably a portion of them, like Merrick Garland, for example. Merrick Garland, I think, is just so fried. If you're in the government for a certain length of time, if you've been a government employee for like as long as Kamala or Joe has, you see what happens to their brains. It's not good. I don't know what happens. You see it a lot with government prosecutors too. They become antisocial, just weird folks. But you've been in there for a long time. Brain starts to fry. So maybe you don't recognize that you're the bad guy. You're the one who's undermining American democracy. But I think they know. They just want their democratic institutions to have endless power, and they're working hard to maintain that.